San Francisco's real estate market. Is it booming or is it about to go bust? Honestly, depending on where you look, you can find proof for both. So today, we're going to dive into all the conflicting signals coming out of one of the world's most watched property markets and try to figure out what is really going on.
Let's start with just one single staggering number, $1.4 million.
Yep, that's the median price for a home in the city right this second. It's a figure that keeps San Francisco right up there as one of the most expensive places to live on the entire planet. But that's only half the story.
Because then you have this number, 33.6%. And this one, well, it paints a completely different picture of the city.
That's the percentage of office space just sitting empty in San Francisco, one of the highest rates in the country. So you've got sky-high home prices that suggest a boom. And then this sea of empty offices that just screams bust.
So which is it, boom or bust? Well, the answer isn't simple, not at all. But by breaking down the data, we can get a much clearer picture of what's happening. All right, let's start with a snapshot of the market, which truly is a tale of two different realities playing out at the exact same time. Okay. The market signals are just all over the place. I mean, on one hand, sales volume is up a solid 5% year over year. That's great. But then inventory is also up by over 16%, and homes are just sitting on the market for an average of 72 days. That's way longer than before. And to make it even more confusing, the median rent has jumped nearly 8%. None of this seems to add up. So what in the world is causing this massive tug of war? It really comes down to two gigantic opposing forces that are battling for the soul of the city's real estate market, a brand new tech boom and a very old affordability crisis.
On one side, you've got the engine, the AI boom. The city has seen a 24% growth in AI talent, and that's what's fueling the sales surge and the rent growth. But then on the other side, you've got the brakes. That $1.4 million median price, combined with mortgage rates over 6%, it means the average buyer is spending a whopping 45% of their income just on housing debt.
It's the million-dollar question, or I guess in this case, the $1.4 million question. Who are the people who are actually buying in this market?
To absolutely no one's surprise, tech professionals make up the biggest slice of the pie at 45%. But notice this, the share for first-time buyers has shrunk to just 25%. They are just getting squeezed out by these high costs. And international buyers, they still remain a pretty significant force in the market.
And check this out. Here's a detail that shows just how unique this market really is. A surprising 20% of all buyers are tapping into their crypto holdings for their down payments. I mean, this influx of digital wealth is a brand new, powerful force creating liquidity and propping up prices, especially in that super high-end luxury market. Okay, now let's shift gears from residential to commercial. With that huge vacancy rate we talked about at the beginning, the big question is, can the AI boom save downtown San Francisco? And what we're seeing is a huge surge in activity. Office leasing is up a staggering 46% year-to-date, reaching 7.5 million square feet. That's the strongest it's been since 2019. And this is almost entirely driven by AI and tech companies, expanding and calling their workers back to the office. It's a major sign of life, for sure.
But the health of the city's commercial core isn't just about shiny office towers. We really need to look at the other key sectors to get the full picture.
This table really shows a mixed bag. So while the office sector is improving, it still has a long way to go. Retail is stable, kind of holding its own, but the quiet hero here is the industrial sector. With a vacancy rate of just 6.6%, demand for warehouses and logistics centers is incredibly strong, all driven by the city's role as a port and, the relentless e-commerce boom.
So, we've looked at the present, this complex mix of boom and bust signals. Now, let's look to the future. What can we expect in 2026, and how can you prepare for it?
Well, the forecast isn't for a crash, and it's not for another massive boom either. It's really for stabilization. Home prices are expected to stay relatively flat. The real story is in sales volume, which is projected to jump 15% as mortgage rates hopefully ease up a little bit. Office rents are also expected to tick up, showing a slow but steady recovery.
However, a forecast is just that, a forecast. And there are some major risks on the horizon that could absolutely throw a wrench in these predictions.
You see, the affordability crisis isn't going away. That 45% debt-to-income ratio is a huge barrier to entry.
On top of that, you've got economic headwinds, a worsening insurance crisis, with premiums jumping 18% year over year because of wildfire risk, and local regulations that continue to choke off the supply of new housing. Any one of these could tip the scales.
So what does all this mean for you? Well, for buyers, the advice is to act before the market gets flooded with spring inventory. For sellers, pricing correctly is absolutely everything. Overpricing can be the kiss of death in this market. And for investors, the smart money seems to be on rentals near the AI hubs and diversifying into that rock-solid industrial sector.
Which brings us right back to where we started. San Francisco is a market being pulled in two directions at once. You have the powerful engine of a new AI boom pushing it forward, and the heavy anchor of an affordability crisis holding it back. The question of which force will ultimately win out, well, that's what will define the future of the city.